I got shot down over the channel, and very, very early in my life. Coming down with parachute naturally. The 109 banked around, leveled off and come straight for me, and I went, oh man.
Hello again everybody, welcome. My name is Tall Stephen Paul. Today we have part 2 of our interview and discussion with Mr. Harry Cullip. He was a World War II fighter pilot for the British Royal Air Force, and he'll be sharing some more stories and insights into World War II. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, leave a comment, share it with a friend, share it with a veteran. Also, if you subscribe, that'd be great, and you need to hit that notification bell so when I do publish new videos, you'll be notified. Let's get to it and continue my discussion with Mr. Harry Cullip. Here we go.
I got 6,000 of combat hours in, and I only shot down 16 German planes. You see these fighters on for 5 minutes, get out of there, it doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. 30 seconds, get out of there, because you've got somebody on your tail if you're not careful. Let me tell you the story of one of the times I got shot down, because I think it's, initially at the beginning, all of the military might of Hitler, the officers were gentlemen. The old school, the old school. That's why Hitler got rid of them, because they wouldn't do as they were told. Well, I got shot down over the channel, and very, very early in my life. Coming down with parachute naturally. The 109 banked around, leveled off and come straight for me, and I went, oh man. I wasn't a Christian in those days, so I was saying a few other words that people would normally say. I thought, this is my lot. But unbeknown to me, he had radioed our air sea rescue, stayed with me until he saw him coming in the direction where I was, and then he took off. The object waved back. You weren't shooting at men, you were shooting at aircraft. Mm-hmm. You wanted to stop that aircraft from doing what he was going to do. You didn't try and kill the guys inside. It happened, of course. So, for the grace of God and a good German, I'm still here today.
Was there other guys that got shot in parachutes going down? Was that the norm
it was norm. At the early part of the war, very few pilots were shot down with their chutes, parachuting down. It was the norm. Of course, it changed a bit later on when all the oldies got knocked out and the young Nazis took over. It was a different story. Vicious. Skull, or cross, as they say in German.
What was your reaction and emotions as like when World War II actually started? How did you?
I was gung ho. You know what gung ho is, don't you? Let's go and get it. We're great. Oh, we're gung ho.
So there wasn't really any fear or any.
If you weren't feared, you were stupid. You had fear. Oh yes, you had fear. And but the Spitfire was a very, very maneuverable aircraft, as the Messerschmitt 109 was. The Focke-Wulf 110 or 110 was a little bit more sluggish. They both had terrible vision. You couldn't, they had so many struts and spars on the canopy that you couldn't really see. Once you got on the tail of an ME 109 or a Focke-Wulf 110, they were dead. They were dead meat, because their vision was very bad. So the good old Spitfire, which was incidentally designed by a man named Mitchell, not the same man that made your Mitchell bomber. And he was on the cliffs of Dover one day, which is between England and France, and he was watching the birds flying. And he watched that beautiful wing structure, and that was how he designed the Spitfire. And of course, Rolls-Royce come up with a fabulous engine that is still, well, Rolls-Royce is still making engines today in the majority of the American civil aircraft. It's a fabulous engine. But initially, where the Germans had us beat, we were using the old-fashioned Cobra. Now, as you've probably seen on many pictures, when you're doing a dogfight, you're up, you're going over like that. Well, if you turn your car upside down with the engine running, what would happen?
Stop.
So, never seems to stop there when they have a crash. I don't know why. So we used to lose it until we could get the engine started again, and we were sitting ducks then. So very, very early, we copied the German design and had fuel injection. So we had to cut that out.
What kind of missions and assignments what exactly did you do?
Our job was to knock them down before they got too far in there. We rarely, at the beginning of the war, went to the continent, except in Dunkirk, which was the early 40s, very early 40s. That was a wonderful piece of camaraderie. Have you heard of Dunkirk?
I've heard of it.
Well, when the French gave away their country to the Germans, we had tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of troops there, and we had to get back. From England, you had tens of thousands of little boats, 2, 4 passengers, 6 passenger cruisers. I don't mean naval cruisers, I'm talking about, maybe 30-footers, 40-footers, crossing back and forwards across the channel and picking the troops up from Dunkirk. And they were being strafed constantly by that beautiful but horrible Stuka. Fabulous aircraft that was for going down. It was no good as a fighter. You just aimed the aircraft at what you wanted to hit, press the button, and that's where the bombs went. That's where your machine guns went. And we lost a lot of troops there, but we also saved tens of thousands of troops to fight again. So yeah, we did go over there, but very quickly, we started our climb on the way to the continent, Europe. Whereas before we'd be going upwards. So we were able to spend a little bit more time on the beaches and save a lot of people, a lot of soldiers, military people.
When you were in dogfights and stuff, what was the feeling like then, or emotions, or whatever?
You didn't really have a lot of time to have any feelings, because everything was happening so quickly. As I explained to you, it's quick, it's over, and it's out of it. But anyone told you they didn't have any fear, and that's where the old rearview mirror came in. So it was a very early part of the war when that rearview mirror was put up there so you could see back there. Because that's where your danger was, not somebody coming head on at you or coming underneath you from the back. You've heard them, I got so-and-so on my tail, come and get him off. Well, that's what's happening. Whatever loop you made, they made too, and just followed you through until you come across the site, press the button, and bingo, you're gone. Yeah, he was scared, but it was very exhilarating. I think if you, no, I won't go into that subject. Yeah, it was, I was going to say something else. It was very exhilarating, but very fearful, because you never knew if and when it's going to be you. But you see, when I heard some of these pilots of the German Luftwaffe, the Air Force, saying they shot down 300 planes, 400 planes. I'm thinking, how the heck did they do that? If you add them all together, what they all supposedly shot down, there wouldn't be an Air Force left. And I was good, but I only got 16. And yet this major over here, he'd get 300, 400. Never did understand where they got their numbers from, unless of course they counted the aircraft on the ground, which we never did. All of our aircraft had to be confirmed. Not only did you shoot them and they'd be trading down, but somebody else had to see it actually hit or the pilot jump out. Otherwise, it was not a kill.
So how many kills did you have that weren't verified, or do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I was once asked that question, and I said I didn't wait long to find out. Unless it was confirmed, I couldn't care less. I'm out of there, and I'll do something else. We were going up and down 4, 5, 6 times a day, getting up there, unloading, calm down, get out there. It was very, very stressful. And I still didn't take any drugs. I smoked and I drank. Not what did I used to drink? Well, I learned to get a taste for Southern Comfort when the Americans came over there. But Scotch, yeah, real Scotch, Glenfiddich and Glenlivet, which is the basis of all Scotch. I don't drink anymore. I often get a taste, but I know how to say no. I used to smoke 4 packs of cigarettes a day. I didn't have any patches on my arm. I didn't go to any psychiatrist. I just said, I'm going to stop smoking. And I stopped smoking.
A lot of people smoke then?
Oh, yeah. Everyone was smoking. But look at your early American movies that were made for the GIs over there. Everybody had a cigarette in his mouth, and we were the same. Everybody smoked. Yes. Different. We've gone away from it. Come, bring me back. Bring me back.
Okay. Kind of a relational thing. How did you personally, or British soldiers in general, get along with Yanks?
There were fights every night. To my father, everybody was a Yank. You know, if you was American, you were a Yank. You know, which meant you come from the north of the Mason-Dixon line. And yet all the Americans I met, not all of them, were from the south. And I used to stutter very badly. Do you understand stuttering? Mm-hmm. And mixing with the southern boys like I did, then I got along very, very well with the American myself. I started speaking slower. And by speaking slower, I cured myself of the stuttering. I occasionally do drop into, but so I've got the Americans to thank for that. But the Americans, of course, you better believe it. We were paid as fighter pilots. How would it be a conversion? Probably about about $20 a month. And here comes the great American contingent with pocketfuls of money, pocketfuls of cigarettes, which we were allocated to. Candy? What's candy? We never had candy. We never had oranges. We never had bananas. We never complained because we got chicken tonight. We had chicken last night, you know. Because England is very, very strictly rationed. For a month, you've got maybe 4 ounces of sugar, maybe 4 ounces of butter. The same with tea. And meat was rationed. Everything was rationed. And here's these Americans, you know, down there complaining that they're not getting any oranges. They're getting sick and tired of bananas. And, But I got along very, very well with them. I had a lot of American buddies, a lot of them, especially in the Eagle Squadron. I mean, those guys were the Americans that flew with Royal Air Force uniforms, but with the Eagle Squadron patch on their arms. They were fabulous. They were nuts. They were barnstormers. They were as crazy as I was. They do things that some of me I wouldn't even do. But the Poles and the Czechs were the craziest fighters of all. Back to square one. I've gone off again, I'm sorry.
What was the worst or saddest part or experience for you in the war?
Well, there's a lot of sadness all the time, because every day you came back, but they didn't. So I don't think there was any one specific time when you're sadder than ever. It was bad news. Charlie never come back, Tom never come back. Peter parachuted into the channel. But if you don't get taken out of the channel very, very quick, you're dead. Because it's one of the worst places for hypothermia in the world, other than getting up into the Arctic. So I don't think there was any specific one item that sickened me or saddened me more than anything else. If I dug back into the brain, I could probably find something, but I don't remember anything.
Okay.